Namaskaram, and welcome to the Prabandhams and Stotrams class conducted by Heritage of India classes. We are continuing to discuss Sri kulasEkhara AzhvAr's perumAl Tirumozhi Prabandham, in particular the fifth padigam or fifth tirumozhi. It's called tarutuyaram taDAyEl. This is the third week. So by way of a roadmap, what we are going to do today is to learn the one remaining Podutaniyan, and then we will learn 4 more pAsurams from the padigam. So that will bring us to 8 pAsurams completed. And the remaining 2 pAsurams, we will learn them next week, and then we will also start something new next week. Okay, so I started the recording already, and the references remain the same. So before we chant the Podutaniyans, I'm going to teach you the 5th Podutaniyan. This is the only remaining Podutaniyan that we have not learned yet. So this Taniyan is a salutation to all the AzhvArs and Bhagavat Ramanuja. I'll explain how Bhagavat Ramanuja got into the group of AzhvArs as well. And this is composed by Parasara Bhattar, who was the son of Kuratarvan, who was a celebrated disciple of Bhagavat Ramanuja. So the purpose of this Taniyan is to pay respect to all the AzhvArs. And so it's a Sanskrit verse, and I've given the English transliteration here and the English meaning here. And it's relatively easy to understand because all it does is name most of the AzhvArs and Bhagavat Ramanuja, and it says, I pay my respect to all of them. And the color code indicates what part of the verse represents what AzhvAr. So, anything green, Bhutam, refers to Bhudatarvar, etc. So if you follow the color code, you will know exactly which AzhvAr or which celebrated personality is being referenced. So let me go through the meaning first. So it's essentially, it says to Bhutatarvar, Poigayarvar, pAsurams, perumAl, tirumozhi, kulasEkhara AzhvAr, Tirupanarvar, Tondaradipudi Tirumangai. Okay, these are all AzhvArs. And then it introduces Ramanuja. I'll explain in just one moment. And also to Sri Namma, who is considered the head of the AzhvArs. So after naming that very long list, it says, I bow to them every day or all the time. Okay. Now the question is, so there are 2 omissions, and there is an addition that I need to explain. That the 2 omissions are Sri Andal and Sri Madhurakavi AzhvAr. You will notice that it names only 10 out of the 12 AzhvArs. And then it also names an additional person, Ramanuja. So why does it, I think after I explain the meaning of the verse, I'll explain why Andal and Madhurakavi AzhvAr are not explicitly mentioned. But explaining why Sri Ramanuja is included is more easy, so let me do that. So if I ask you about the Nalayara Divya Prabandham, and if I say, how many persons have collectively composed the Nalayara Divya Prabandham? So you would be tempted to say the answer is 12 because there are 12 AzhvArs. But actually, just like the baker's dozen is not 12, here also the answer is 13. It's not 12. Because there is a 13th person, Tiruvarangattu Amudanar, who has composed something called Ramanuja Nutrantadi. And that Ramanuja Nutrantadi is also considered part of the Nalayara Divya Prabandham. And that Ramanuja Nutrantadi, just as its name implies, is all about Bhagavat Ramanuja. It's not directly about Emperuman, it's about Bhagavat Ramanuja, though tangentially it may refer to Emperuman as well. And because that work is part of is considered part of the Divya Prabandham, so it is kind of natural to want to include that Tiruvarangattu Amudanar in this list. Instead, in his place, they have included Bhagavat Ramanuja, because Bhagavat Ramanuja has a higher stature, and this Tiruvarangat Amudanar. I believe he was the Sishya of Kuratarvan as well. And so to that extent, he had a very direct relationship with Bhagavat Ramanuja. But anyway, so because Bhagavat Ramanuja has a higher stature, that was one of the reasons that Sri Ramanuja's name appears rather than Tiruvarangat Amudanar. Then I'll explain the omission of Sri Andal and Madhurakavi Alvar after I've finished going through the verse one by one. Okay, so Bhutam, that's relatively easy to understand. It represents Bhutat Alvar. Sarasya, Saras means pond. So Sarasya refers to something related to the pond, therefore it relates to Poigai Alvar. And of course, he's called Poigai Alvar because he was born in a pond in Kanchipuram. So that's why, so Sarasya refers to Poigai Alvar. And then Mahadach Vaya. Now, that's it's not clear that it refers to Poigai Alvar. Mahad in Sanskrit means a great person, in Mahan, if you will, Periyavar. So if you didn't know anything about the context of this, and if you looked at Mahadach Vaya, so what you will think is that you will think that this is referring to Periyarvar, but from the context you have to infer that this is really referring to Peyarvar instead, not Periyarvar. Well, because the Mahad in general is used to refer to Periyarvar. For example, Swami Desikan in Godastuti has a slokam called, in which he says, Lebhe Mahattara Padanu Gunam Prasadam. That Mahattara refers to Mahan or Periyavar என்று சொல்லப்படுகிற Periyarvar. So Lebhe, he received. So the Swami Desikan says in that slokam that Periyarvar received the title of Periyarvar because Emperman was pleased by the fact that Periyarvar delivered the Sudi Kodutta Malai to the Vatapatra Sai temple. So in other words, he says, Swami Desikan says, he kind of rewrites history when he composes that particular verse. He says Periyarvar is called Periyarvar because he delivered Sudi Kodutta Malai, the Andal Sudi Kodutta Malai to Emperman, and Emperman was pleased. Of course, the party line is that Periyarvar is called Periyarvar because he was worried about the safety of Emperuman, about the well-being of Emperuman. So in an extraordinary role reversal, he started worrying about Emperuman's well-being instead of Emperuman worrying about the Arvar's well-being. And so the Arvar blessed him by singing that Pallandu, Pallandu, Pallairattandu. So that's the general accepted reason for why Periyarvar is called Periyarvar. But of course, Swami Desikan is Swami Desikan. So out of his deep bhakti for Goda, or Sri Andal, he goes on to say it's because he delivered the Sudi Kodutta Malai, the garland that was first worn by Sri Andal, because he delivered that to Emperuman at the Vatapatra Sai temple in Sri Villiputur. That's the reason that he is called Periyarvar. But anyway, so all of that is to indicate that the word Mahad refers to Mahan or Periyavar. But in this context, because it is surrounded by Bhutattarvar and Poigayarvar, this particular one refers to another Mahan, and that is Peyarvar. So these three are the first three Arvars. The chronological order is different. Poigayarvar would come first, Bhutattarvar would come next, and Peyarvar would come third. But the order has been reversed. So in some sense, you can say that the first Arvar, Poigayarvar, has been placed centrally among the first three Arvars in this ordering. And then next it refers to Bhattanatha. Bhattanatha is Bhattar Piran in Tamil. Bhattar is, of course, is a priest, and this refers to Periyarvar because he was a priest. He was doing Pushpa Kainkaryam in that Vatapatra Sai temple in Sri Villiputur. And he's called, so that's why he's a Bhattar. And he's a Nathar, he's the leader, he's a kind of a head of all the Bhattars. In fact, so that in Tamil, that Bhattar Viran is used to refer to him. Andal, for example, in the very last Tirupavai, the Vanga Kadal Ganenda Madhavanai Kesavanai, she specifically says, when in talking about the Phalashruti, she specifically refers to herself as Sadharana Godayillai, Bhattar Viranudaya Godai. She refers to herself very proudly as Sri Bhattar Viran's Godai. So because she refers to her father, her foster father, very fondly in that Paingamala taDAyEl Bhattarviran Godai Sonna. So Paingamala taDAyEl Pasumayana Tamarai Pukalal தொடுக்கப்பட்ட மாலையை தொடுப்பவராகிய பெரியாழ்வார் அவருடைய கோதை சொன்ன இந்த 30 பாட்டுகளும் என்று she talks about that. Okay, so Bhattarviran refers to Periyalvar, and Bhattanatha is just the direct English, direct Sanskrit translation of Bhattarviran. Then Sri Bhaktisara is just another name for Tirumozhi Alvar. According to the legends, this name was given to him by Shiva Peruman himself in recognition of his bhakti towards Emperuman. So actually, Tirumozhi Alvar was a Shaivite first before he became a Vaishnavite. But anyway, Sri Bhaktisara, that title was given to him by Shiva Peruman after he had become a Sri Vaishnavite. Okay, and then kulasEkhara, that's very obvious, kulasEkhara Alvar. Yogi Vahan refers to tirumozhi. So what does Yogi Vahan means? One who used yogi as a vahanam, used the yogi as a vahanam, because according to the life story of tirumozhi, now he was born in a caste that was, in those days, that there were restrictions about who can go into Srirangam, and so he belonged to a caste called Panarhar. And so he felt that he really should not be going into Srirangam. So he would stand on the south side of the Kaveri River, that is the other side, the opposite side from Srirangam, and then look toward the Srirangam temple and pray and sing and dance very excitedly about Tiruvarangan, about the Emperuman, the perumAl at Srirangam temple. And one day when he was doing that, one of the priests of the temple called Loka Sharanga Muni, so he came to that river, and then when he was trying to get back to the temple, he saw Tiruppanalvar standing in the way, and he tried to get his attention by yelling at him, by talking loudly to him, but Tiruppanalvar was so lost in what he was doing, he didn't hear him. So just to get his attention, this Loka Sharanga Munivar, he tossed a stone in his direction, and apparently that stone fell on the forehead of Tiruppanalvar. He started bleeding, and then anyway he gave way. And when Lokasaranga Munivar he got to the temple, apparently he saw that the Emperuman himself was bleeding. So anyway, at night, apparently the Emperuman came in his dream and said that you should bring Tiruppanalvar to his sanctorum, to his Garbhagraham. And so the yogi of this Lokasaranga Muni, he went to Tiruppanalvar and he said, please come, and he apologized for what he did. And then he invited him to come to Srirangam, but Tiruppanalvar said, no, I'm too low to set my foot in Srirangam. And so this Lokasaranga Muni says, well, in that case, please get on my shoulder and I will carry you to Srirangam. So that's how this Lokasaranga Muni carried Tiruppanalvar to the temple in Srirangam, and it's on the way that this Tiruppanalvar started composing his Prabandham called Amalanadipiran. There are only 10 pAsurams in that Prabandham, but it's one of the most moving Prabandhams in the Nalayana Divya Prabandham. And by the time he got to the temple, he was on his 10th pAsuram of that Prabandham. And then, according to the legends, he just walked into the Garbhagraham and just disappeared. He became one with Emperuman. Okay, so anyway, he's called Yogi Vahan because this yogi, this Lokasaranga Muni, was a vahanam, was a vehicle for carrying Tiruppanalvar to the Srirangam temple. Anyway, that's why it's called Tiruppanalvar. And Bhaktangri Renu. So this is an exact, direct Sanskrit translation of Tondar Adipudi Alvar. Bhakta means Tondar or Adiyargal or Bhagavatas or devotees. Bhakta Angri. Angri refers to feet. So that is Adi. In Tamil we would call that Adi. Renu simply means dust, Podi. Okay. So Tondar, Adi, Podi. Bhakta Angri Renu. By the way, the word Angri came even in the previous pAsuram, the previous Padutaniyan, Srimad Tad Angri Yugalam. So you see that the word Angri also refers to feet here. It's the same word that appears here as well. So Bhakta Angri Renu. So Tondar Adipudi Arvar. So he considered himself as lower than all the bhaktas, and so he was ready to apply the dust of the thunders of the bhaktas on his Tirumeni, and that's why he is called Tondar Adipudi Arvar. Parakala is a reference to Tirumangai Arvar. Parakala means, Kala of course refers to Yama, the god of death. Para means to others or to enemies. So he was a Yama to his enemies. That's the complimentary name given to Tirumangai Arvar. That's because Tirumangai Arvar was a soldier. He was actually a general in the Chora army, and he was an extraordinary soldier. So that the name Parakala really applies to him. It was not something that was exaggerated and made up to give to him as a title, as a compliment. So Parakala refers to Tirumangai Arvar. And there's Yatindra Mishran. Yati means sannyasi. You know that Ramanujar, Bhagavad Ramanujar is also referred to as Yati Rajar. Sannyasigalukku Raja. There is a king of sannyasis. And this is more or less the same thing. Yati, sannyasi, Indra. Indra avargalukku Talaivan is the leader of them. So Yatindra Mishran refers to Bhagavad Ramanujar. So this is also listed among all the Arvars. Then Srimat Parankusamunim. Srimat for the glorious Parankusamunim. Parankusamunim refers to Sri Nammarvar, the head of the Arvars. And again, the explanation for the name Parankusam is Para Ankusam. So Ankusam is a tool that is used to tame elephants. Ankusam, you may have heard of that. The Mahouts use it to tame elephants. And Para Ankusam. Para again means other, in this case, other religions. So essentially, he tamed other religions by articulating the Sri Vaishnavite or Visishtadvaitic philosophy, and that's why he's called Parankusamunim. Okay, so he is referred to as Parankusamunim. That's Sri Nammarvar. And to all of them, Pranatosmi Nityam. Pranata Asmi Nityam. Pranata, I offer my pranams. So Asmi, I, Nityam, every day. Okay, so that's exactly what it means. Now we come to the question of why are Sri Andal and Madhurakavi Arvar left out. I think there are a couple of explanations. One is that Sri Andal is indirectly referred to here because her guru, which is her father, Periyarvar, is already included there. So to some extent, the Acharyan's glory, she is covered by her Acharyan's glory. And similarly, Madhurakavi Arvar, his Acharyan was the Sri Nammarvar. And by the same token, his Acharyan's glory covers him as well. So that's one explanation. The other explanation is that the word Sri, for example, Bhattanatha Sri, that Sri, Bhattanatha is Periyarvar, the Sri following that, some would say that Sri actually refers to Sri Andal. So, so that's one explanation. So that similarly, there is a Sri Parankusamunim. So that Sri, they say, refers to Madhurakavi Arvar. So in this case, the Sri comes after Periyarvar's name. In this case, the Sri comes before Sri Nammarvar's name. And they also rationalize it by saying, well, here it comes after because Sri Andal was younger than her guru, namely Periyarvar, whereas Madhurakavi Arvar was older than his guru. So that's why his name, the Sri, comes before Parankusamunim. Anyway. Okay, so that's the explanation for why the Sri Andal and Madhurakavi Arvar are either not mentioned or mentioned only indirectly. Okay, so having explained, again, like I said, every time you learn a Sanskrit verse, it would be nice if you could go through the list of meanings and learn a couple of words. For example, Renu might be a word that you choose to learn. Renu means dust, as in Bhaktangri Renu. And so Yati, of course, you probably know it already, but if you don't, you might want to learn that as well. And you might choose to learn more than 2 words, and that would be fine as well. Okay. So with that, let me just teach you how to recite this, chant this Taniyan. Now, as with the previous Taniyan, there would generally be very little to no pause after the first line when you are chanting. But when I'm teaching you, I will stop after the first line so that you can chant the first line, and then I can go on to the second line. Is that okay? And then we will chant the all the tanyans together. One moment. Okay, so let me say it first, and then you will chant with keeping yourself muted. Bhutam sarasya mahadahvaya bhattanata. Bhutam sarasya mahadahvaya bhattanata. Shri Bhakti Sara kulasEkhara yogi vahan. Shri Bhakti Sara kulasEkhara yogi vahan. Bhaktangri Renu Parakala Yatindra Mishran. Bhaktangri Renu Parakala Yatindra Mishran. Srimad Parankusha Munim Pranatosmi Nityam. Srimad Parankusha Munim Pranatosmi Nityam. Okay, so now we have really learned all the 5 Pudutanyans. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I will play the chanting of all the 5 Pudutanyans. So it's going to be a relatively long chanting. So the chanting will include the 5 Pudutanyans, and then the 2 perumAl Tirumuritanyans, and then the first 4 pAsurams that we have learned. Okay, so it will be one continuous chanting. So get ready. I'll play it. Ramanuja Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanatharyam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Lakshmi Natha Samarambham Nathayamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Yo Nityamachyuta Padambuja Yugma Rukma Vyamohatastaditarani Trinaya Mene Asmad Guror Bhagavatosya Dayaika Sindho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadye Mata Pita Yuvatayasthanaya Vibhutihi Sarvam Yadeva Niyamena Madanvayanam Ahadyasya Nakula Paterva Kulabhiramam Srimad Tadanghriyugalam Pranamami Mudna Bhutam Sarasya Mahadahvaya Bhattanatha Shri Bhakti Sara kulasEkhara yogi vahan Bhaktangri Renu Parakala Yatindra Mishran Srimad Parankusha Munim Pranatosmi Nityam Innamudamuttuyen Ingeva Paingiliye Tennarangam Padavallasir perumAl Ponnam Silai Ser Mudaliyar Vel Seralarkon Yangal kulasEkharan Yendre Kuru Aram Kedap Parananbar Kollarendru Avargalukke Varam Godu Kudappambil Kaiyittavan Maatralarai Veeram Kedutha Sengol Kolli Kavalan Villavarkon Seran kulasEkharan Mudivendar Shikhamaniye tarutuyaram taDAyEl Un sharanallal sharanillai Virai gulvum malarpozhil soor Vitruvakkottammaane Harisinattal indradai Ahatridinum மற்றவள்தன் அருள் நினைந்தே அழும் குழவி அதுவே போன்றிருந்தேனே தருதுயரம் taDAyEl உன் சரணல்லால் சரணில்லை விரை குழுவும் மலர்பொழில் சூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மானே அரிசினத்தால் இன்றதாய் அகற்றிடினும் மற்றவள் தன் அருள் நினைந்தே அழும் குழவி அதுவே போன்றிருந்தேனே கண்டாரிகழ்வனவே காதலன் தான் செய்திடினும் கொண்டானை அல்லால் அறியா குலமகள் போல் விண்தோய் மதுள் புடைசூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நீ கொண்டாளாயாகிலும் உன் குறைகளே கூறுவனே மீன் நோக்கும் நீள்வயல் சூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா என் பால் நோக்காயாகிலும் உன் பற்றல்லால் பற்றிலேன் தான் நோக்காது எத்துயரம் செய்திடினும் தார்வேந்தன் கோல் நோக்கி வாழும் குடிகோன்றிருந்தேனே வாளால் அறுத்துச் சுடினும் மருத்துவன் பால் மாளாத காதல் நோயாளன் போல் மாயத்தால் மீளா துயர்தரினும் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நீ ஆளா உனதருளே பார்ப்பன் அடியேனே. Okay, so that was a very long chanting. It's probably the longest chanting that you have done. And this is the ultimate objective anyway. So I want to get you to a stage where you can comfortably chant all the pAsurams and the taDAyEls and also understand the meaning. So with the full understanding and appreciation of the meaning. And when we are done with this padikam, what I will do is, in addition to posting these lessons, I will also post a chanting of all the padikams and the taDAyEls used with these slides, so that if you want to just recite the padikam, you could use that particular video and you will be able to look at all these pictures and other things that will remind you of the meaning of all of these pAsurams. Okay, so those are pAsurams 1 through 4 and the taDAyEls before them. Okay, so now we get to pAsuram number 5. Okay, so I told you that this whole padikam is about Saranagati. It's about Ananya Gatitvam, having no refuge other than perumAl. And and in each one of these pAsurams, except the very last one, which is Phalashruti, this AzhvAr gives a beautiful analogy. So now we get to the fifth padikam, fifth pAsuram rather, and the analogy associated with it. So here, the analogy is really very interesting. It's very unusual. At least some of the other analogies he uses, other poets might have used, but this one I haven't seen used by anybody else. So what he is saying is that to perumAl, he's saying that just as a ship's mast is to a stranded bird, so you are to me. Okay, what exactly does that mean? So you have to imagine the following situation. So you imagine that you have a ship that is docked at port. So the ship is docked at port. It's a cargo ship. It carries grains, and because it carries sacks of grains, there's some spillage. So there are places where the grain has spilled on the floor. And because the ship is docked at port, there are birds hovering over the port. And one of the birds gets on this ship because it sees all those spilled grains, and it starts pecking on those grains. It starts eating those grains, okay? And there's a lot of grains. So the bird goes on eating grain after grain after grain. And finally, it feels full. So it needs to get out of the ship. There's just one problem though. While it was busy eating, the ship has sailed already, and it's now far away from the shores, far, far away from the shore. Now the bird does not know that, so the bird says, okay, let me get to the shore. So it tries to fly out of the ship. It goes in, let's say, the direction of the north. Now, because it's far away from the shore, it doesn't find the shore. And of course, it has limited energy. It cannot keep on going. So it says, oh my God, I can't see the shore, so let me return to the ship. So it returns to the ship, and it gets to where it can rest. It gets to the mast. So it gets to the top of the mast and rests there for a while. And then it says maybe the shore would be on the south. So it flies to the south, but then again, after flying for a long distance, it doesn't find anything. It says, oh my God, I'm getting tired. I need to get back and find some rest, find a place to rest. So the only place that it knows to get back to is the ship, which is still in the middle of the sea. So it flies back to the ship and comes to rest on the mast, okay? And again, it does that with east, it does that with west. So it does that in all the directions. And eventually it comes to the realization that my only recourse is to stay on this ship. So that ship's mast is what the ship's mast is to a stranded bird. That's what you, the Emperuman, are to me. That's what you, Paramatma, are to me, the Jivatma. So that's the beautiful analogy that this AzhvAr gives in his fifth pasuram. Like I said, it's a very unusual analogy. So let's go through the meaning in English, and then I'll explain the meaning of the pasuram word by word. So it says here, so first he addresses Emperuman by referring to an incident from Krishnavataram. Oh, the one who slew that fierce-eyed mighty elephant. So in Krishnavataram, there was an elephant. So you know that there are two famous elephants in our mythology. One is a good character, and that was Gajendra. And so he was grabbed by an alligator or crocodile, whatever you want to call it. And then he appealed to Adimulam, and then Adimulam and Emperuman came and rescued him. So that was Gajendra was a good elephant. There's also an elephant of a different nature, and that appears in Krishnavataram, and that was the taDAyEl. So that is the royal elephant of Kamsan, the uncle of Sri Krishna. You know, when you have an uncle like Kamsan, of course, you don't need any enemies. And so Kamsan tried everything in the book to kill Sri Krishna. And one of the things that he tried was to send this taDAyEl, this elephant, this mighty elephant, to kill Sri Krishna. But of course, the outcome was different than what he had imagined. Krishna and Balarama really, they were able to take care of this elephant and all the soldiers around them as well. They broke the elephant's tusk and they killed the elephant with it, and they also killed the Mahout and other soldiers around the elephant. So that's the picture here. The name of that elephant is Kuvalaya Pedam. Okay, so you can see a painting of Sri Krishna walking on the elephant that has been slain. And this is Balarama also carrying the other tusk, okay, and then all the soldiers, Mahouts, etc., they've been killed. So he's referring to the glory of Emperuman by referring to that particular incident. He says, oh, the one who slew that fierce-eyed mighty elephant, referring to Kuvalaya Pedam, oh Lord of Tiruvittuvakodu. And then he says, where else can I go for refuge apart from surrendering at your 2 feet? Of course, this whole Padigam is about surrendering at Emperuman's feet and Ananya Gatitvam, as I said, so not going anywhere else. And then he gives this beautiful analogy. He says, the bird that goes everywhere, so that stranded bird that goes everywhere from the ship in the middle of the sea and doesn't find a shore in the waves-filled ocean. So the bird that does that will return to the ship's mast for refuge because it has no other place to go. And then the AzhvAr says, just like that big bird, I am as well. Okay, so that's the beauty of this particular pasuram. Okay, so let me go on to explain the meaning of the pasuram word by word. So he says, Venkantin Kaliru Adarthai. So Kaliru, of course, refers to the elephant. Adarthai means you slew that elephant. So Kaliru Adarthai, oh, the one who slew that elephant. He says, Vitruva Kotamane, oh Lord of Vitruva Kodu, one who slew that elephant. What kind of elephant was it? Thin Kaliru. It was a mighty elephant. And it also had fierce eyes. Venkan, Kan of course refers to eyes. Venkan refers to fierce eyes. So, oh, the one who slew that fierce-eyed mighty elephant called Kuvalaya Pedam, oh Lord of Vittuvakodu, Yengu poi uigen, Nan enge poi saran adaiven, enge poi uiven. Okay, so where can I go for refuge? So of course it means, where else can I go for refuge apart from your feet? And of course he explains that here. He says, Un inai adiye adayal allal. Adiye is feet. Inai adiye, inai means jodi or 2 feet. Un 2 feet, your 2 feet, adayal allal, taking refuge in your 2 feet. Adai tavira, allal means adai tavira, that is apart from that. So apart from surrendering at your 2 feet, where else can I go? Engu poi uigen, where else can I go for refuge, he says. This is that whole idea of Sharanagati coming again. And then the analogy starts. Now he's talking about a bird. The bird, so you have to assume that the ship is now already in the middle of the ocean. That is kind of implied by the context. Yengum poi kare kaanadu. So the bird, ella vidangalukkum poi, that is, it goes in all kinds of directions. The bird goes everywhere. Engum poi kare kaanadu. Kare refers to the shore. Kaanadu. So it does not find a shore. No matter where it flies out, it's not able to find a shore because the ship has sailed far away from the shore. So that, and then eri kadal vai meendeyum. Eri kadal means the restless kadal. So the ocean that is restless, the ocean that has waves in it. Eri kadal vai meendeyum. So the meendeyum means it meendum tirumbi varuvadu pol. So it will come back to the mast of that ship. So the mast is referred to on the next line. So the bird, like the bird that goes everywhere and does not find a shore in the waves-filled ocean, that bird will return, meendeyum, vangatin kumberam. Vangam means the ship, kumbu means the mast. Vangatin kumbu erum, ma paravai pondrene. Ma paravai, paravai means bird. Ma paravai means the big bird. So not to be confused with the Sesame Street character, it just means a large bird. So like that large bird, which goes everywhere, doesn't find a shore, and it is in the waves-filled ocean, and is sure to return to the ship's mast, vangatin kumberum, like that big bird, pondrene, adu pondru nanum irundene. So I am also just like that bird. I have no place to go except your feet, okay? So anyway, so that it's a very beautiful verse. And like I said, the analogy is very fresh, something you haven't seen in any other place. Now, so I will teach you how to chant it. So I think I just want to mention a couple of related things. So in terms of the relationships, remember that we talked about Nava Vida Sambandham. That is, this Pillai Lokacharya, one of the post-Ramanuja Acharyas, said that there are 9 ways in which we have a relationship with Emperuman. So each of these first 9 verses explains one of those relationships. So this relationship, that is what a ship's mast is to a stranded bird, that is called adhara adheyam. Adhara means a support. The ship's mast is a support. Adheyam is the one that is supported, which is the bird in this case. So adhara refers to Emperuman or Paramatma. Adheyam refers to us Jivatmas. So that kind of a sambandham is illustrated by this particular pasuram. So the one takeaway is that just as this bird, to cross that ocean, it has to come back to that ship repeatedly. Similarly, to cross this samsara sagaram, that is this ocean that is called, this ocean that is the cycle of birth and rebirth, we just have to hold on to Emperuman. So that is a very direct meaning of this pasuram, okay? Now, just on the side here, I told you that there are 2 elephants that appear in mythologies. One is good, one is bad. And the AzhvArs repeatedly make references, or they almost find it funny that there are these 2 elephants, one a hero and one a villain. And so they keep making references to it in multiple pasurams. So I just wanted to give you one of those pasurams. This one is by periyazhvar in his Prabandham called Periyazhvar Tirumozhi. It's very beautiful because I'll explain it in a moment. He says, so first he gives the example of the good elephant, and then he says he talks about the bad elephant, and then he says the Emperuman who is involved with both of those elephants, he is in this Tirumal Irum Cholai. So this particular pasuram is really a Mangala Shasanam of a Divya Desam called Tirumal Irum Cholai. I think probably better known as Aragar Kovil. The Perumal there is called Kallaragar. It's very near Madurai. So it's very near Madurai, which is my birthplace, my mother's hometown, because my father's birthplace is Tirunelveli. But anyways, it's near Madurai, so I have a special attachment to it. And not only that, Periyarvar had a great attachment to Thirumal Irumcholai as well. So according to the stories, after Sri Andar went into a union with Emperuman, and he was left alone in this world, he went to Thirumal Irumcholai and spent much of the rest of his life there. So Thirumal Irumcholai occupies a very special place, both in Periyarvar's pAsurams as well as Sri Andal's pAsurams. And so anyway, so he's talking about Senru Urayum Malai, that Emperuman goes and stays in this Thirumal Irumcholai. So there are two famous hill temples in South India. One is Tirumalai, or the Tiruvenkatam, and the other one is this Thirumal Irumcholai. Okay. So so he says Oru Varanam Panigondaman Poigayel. So in Poigai is in a pond, is referring to the Gajendra. Oru Varanam, one elephant, Panigondaman. He took that elephant as his adiyan, or took the elephant as his servant. So that refers to Gajendran. And then Kamsan, then Kanjan refers to Kamsan. Kanjan is a Tamirized version of Kamsan. You will remember from Tirupavai, Tarikilanagi Tantingin Enaitek Karutai Praipithu Kanjan Vaitril. That Kanjan is also Kamsan. Kanjan Vaitril Nerupennan and Nedumale. Anyway, that Kanjan then Uruvaranam Uirundavan. That Kamsan's one elephant, Uirundavan, he killed it. He ate its life. That's what Uirundavan literally means. So the Emperuman who did both of that, who helped Gajendra and who killed this Kuvalayapidam, Senru Urayum Malai. So this is the hill to which this Emperuman goes and stays and resides. And then the Periyarvar gives a beautiful example. It now refers to the elephants that live in Thirumal Irumcholai. And so you'll find that in many of Periyarvar's padiyams, especially talking about this Thirumal Irumcholai, and also go about Govardhanagiri Malai, you will find that he talks about the wildlife there and how they also are aware of Emperuman and so on. So here he gives a beautiful example. He talks about a male elephant and a female elephant, and apparently the female elephant has seen the male elephant being too friendly with other female elephants. So it says, I'm not going to be with you anymore, and it kind of leaves. So this is what we call Pranaya Rosham. Rosham is anger, Pranaya Rosham. Pranaya is love. Pranaya Rosham is anger born out of love. In Tamil, they call it Udal. So this Yana, this female elephant says, no, I'm going to leave you because you've not been good to me. And so it leaves him. And as it is leaving this male elephant, it says, no, please stop. By the name of this Kallaragar, I swear that I have been good. And he says, I know that there are good elephants like Gajendra and bad elephants like Kuvalayapidam, and they meet with different fates in the hands of Emperuman. I am fully aware of that. And knowing that, I swear by the name of this Kallaragar that I have been good to you. And then thereby, that male elephant stops that female elephant from leaving. Karuvaranam, the black elephant, refers to that bull elephant, the male elephant. Tan Pidi, his female elephant. Pidi means female elephant. Turandu Oda, Turandu means abandoning him and then running away. Oda, as that female elephant abandons him and is running away. What this bull elephant says, Kadal Vannan, the ocean-hued Emperuman, Thiru Aanai Kura. Aanai means, it says, I swear. Kura, so the male elephant says, I swear by the name of this Kallaragar. This Kadal Vannan refers to the Kallaragar. Thiru Aanai Kura. So that male elephant says, I swear by his name that I am good. Then, so anyway, so that they kind of make up. And that kind of a beautiful, cool, mal Irumcholai. So that's the kind of beautiful place that Thirumal Irumcholai. It's very beautiful. The way Periyarvar refers to wild animals, you would think that they go to temples every day, they recite slokas every day, etc. Because they are just as aware of Emperuman as we ought to be. Okay. Anyway, so it's a beautiful side detour because we were talking about the two elephants in our mythology. Okay, so let's try to chant it, and then I'll play the video. Okay. Vengantin Kaliradattai, Vengantin Kaliradattai, Vitruvakkotammane, Vitruvakkotammane, Engu poi uigeen, Engu poi uigeen, Un Yanayadiye Adayalallal, Un Yanayadiye Adayalallal, Engum poi Karai எங்கும் போய் கரை காணாது எரிகடல்வாய் மீண்டேயும் வங்கத்தின் கூம்பேரும் மாப்பறவை போன்றேனே. Okay, so now I'm going to play this particular verse. So it will play twice. So please be sure to chant twice with this. Vengantin kalir adarthai vitruvakotammane engu poi uigeen un inayadiye adayalallal engum poi karai kaanadu எரிகடல்வாய் மீண்டேயும் வங்கத்தின் கூம்பேரும் மாப்பறவை போன்றேனே. Okay, let me bring it back to the start of this pasuram again. வெங்கண்டின் களிர் அடர்த்தாய் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மானே எங்கு போய் உய்கேன் உன் இணையடியே அடையலல்லால் எங்கும் போய் கரை காணாது எரிகடல்வாய் மீண்டேயும் வங்கத்தின் கூம்பேரும் மாப்பறவை போன்றேனே. Okay, good. So that was pasuram number 5. So we are done with 5 of the 9 relationships. So let's go to pasuram number 6. So the pasuram number 6, again, it involves another analogy. It talks about another relationship that we have with Emperman. So here, the relationship that the AzhvAr talks about is the sun to a lotus. So he says that what the sun is to a lotus, so you are to me. Okay. So let's look at the meaning of the verse and then go through the verse word by word. So essentially the idea that the AzhvAr conveys is that the lotus is very fond of the sun, and that it will bloom only to the light of the sun. And that if you try to create an artificial light and bring it near the lotus, it's not going to pay any attention to that. It will bloom only to that sun in the sky, and not to the pretender, this an artificial light that you bring nearby. And similarly, so by that, the same token, that is to the lotus, the only refuge is that sun that is rising up in the sky. And similarly, the AzhvAr says, for me, you are the only one that matters. And therefore, no matter, even if you don't drive away my sufferings, I will only take refuge in you. My heart will not melt for anything other than your glory, your endless kalyana gunas. Okay, so here let me go through the meaning. He says, even if a red fire, the red fire is that artificial light that I was talking about, even if a red fire comes near that lotus flower and creates warmth, it's kind of trying to simulate the effect of the sun, creating light and warmth. The red lotus will only bloom. I'm kind of reading the words in slightly different order so that they will read like a sentence. The red lotus will only bloom to the sky residing hot sun, and not to the pretender, the fire nearby. So the things that are in parentheses, those are implied. You will not find them directly stated here. That's why I put them in parentheses, okay? So the idea is very simple. If you bring a red fire or an artificial light near the lotus and try to create light and warmth, the red lotus will bloom only to the sky residing hot sun, not to the artificial light. And likewise, the AzhvAr says, even if you don't drive away my horrendous karma-inflicted sufferings, O Lord of Tiruvittuva Kodu, but for your endless Kalyana Gunas, my heart will not melt. So he says, even if you don't drive away my horrendous sufferings, my heart will not melt for anything except your endless glory or Kalyana Gunas. Okay? That's what the AzhvAr says. Now we can go through it word by word and then try to understand it. So he says, Sendarale Vande. Once again, a word about how I give meanings. The asterisks, which are supposed to indicate pauses in chanting, I use those pauses in giving the meaning as well. And I try to keep the phrases and the meanings in a one-to-one relationship. So whatever you see before this asterisk by way of meaning, that is the meaning of the phrase that you see before the asterisk. So that way it's easier for you to understand what each phrase is meaning. So sometimes it might mean that in order to create a complete sentence out of it, to understand the meaning, you may have to permute the phrases, but that should be easy to do, especially because I've explained it to you, okay? Sen tarale vandu. So even if sendaral, semmai means a red fire, so sendaral means a red fire. Even if a red fire comes near the lotus, and aralai seidinanam, aralai means warmth, aralai seidinanam, even if it creates warmth, Senkamalam, the red lotus, Antaram Ser Venkadiror Kallal Alaraval. Okay, so it says, it will not bloom alarade, malarade, alaraval means alarade means malarade, it will not bloom. It will not bloom for anything except, there's allal means except, it will not bloom for anything except the Venkadiron, the hot sun. It will bloom only to the hot sun. It will not bloom for anything other than the hot sun. And what kind of hot sun is that? Antaram Ser. Antaram refers to the sky. Okay, so Antaram Ser. So the Ahayatudan சேர்ந்த கதிரவனை தவிர வேறொன்றுக்கும் தாமரைப்பூ மலராது. So to the sky residing hot sun only will this lotus bloom. It will not bloom to any other pretender. Okay. Now this antaram is really a Tamil word for the Sanskrit word antariksha. Antariksha in Sanskrit means the sky. In fact, the word antaram, if you think about where else you might have seen that word antaram. So for example, if you are familiar with Tirupalli, in one of those pAsurams of the Tirupalli, taDAyEl talks about how to wake up Emperuman or to wait for the kataksham of Emperuman as he wakes up in the morning. Imagine that the Emperuman in Srirangam is facing south. He's in a lying posture facing south towards Lanka. So everybody in the morning time, everybody from the celestial world, all the devas and all the other celestial beings, Indra with his elephant, Airavatam, all the celestial beings, etc., they are all assembled south of the temple. And because they are now facing the Emperuman, hoping to get a kataksham of Emperuman as he opens his eyes. And because everybody is down there waiting to be seen by Emperuman, waiting for his kataksham, it's very crowded. So the scenery that taDAyEl describes looks very much like the scenery in a Dharma Darshan line in Tirupati, for example. So he says, Sundarar Nerukka, Vichadarar Nukka, Yekkaram Mayanginar Tiruvadi Toruvan, Antaram Par Idam Illai Matriduvo, Arangatama Palli Elundaradaye. So the word Antaram appears there because what he wants to say is Antaram Par Idam Illai Matriduvo. It's so crowded because everybody is now assembled and it is waiting for Emperuman to wake up. There is no place left either in the sky, in the heaven, or on earth. So that they're referring to that heaven, Antaram Par Idamillai Matriduvo, Sundara Nerukkirar, Vichadarar Nukkirar. So the Sundarars are pushing, these are all different kinds of celestial beings. Sundarars, so that they are pushing the Vichadras are crushing, and Yekkaram Mayanganar. So everybody is there, everybody is pushing, everybody is jostling. And as a result, it feels very much like being in Tirupati. And of course, he doesn't mention Tirupati. That's just my interpretation of it. But the bottom line is there is no place left. It's standing room crowd, standing room only. Antaram par idam illai. There is no place left in the heavens nor on the earth for anybody else to join the crowd. Okay. Antaram par idam illai matriduvo. That same Antaram, sky, is appearing here as well. Antaram same Angadror Kalla Lalaraval. Venduyar Vita Vidinum. Venduyar Innudaya Vepamana Tuyargar. My heart sufferings, my horrendous sufferings, my very painful sufferings. Vita Vidinum. Nian Avatray Ota Vidinum. Even if you don't drive them away, O Vittuva Kotama, O Lord of Tiruvittuva Kodu, Un Andamil Sirkallal Aham Kuraya Martene. And this Aham Kuraya Martene means, Aham means heart, Kuraya Martene, my heart will not melt for anything except your Andam Il Sirkallal, your endless glory, your endless Kalyana Gudam. This is a very beautiful phrase. Andam Il Sir. Sometimes a phrase is so short that it kind of surprises you with the profundity that such a big concept can be buried in such a short phrase. Antam il sir, endless glory, mudive illada emperuman and perumai. That's what this Antam il sir is referring to. Okay, now you can imagine that, of course, Antam emperuman has unlimited glory, endless glory, and sir refers to glory and kalyana gunas as well. So, for example, Purusha, he is everywhere. He is, after all, Vishnu. Vishwam, Vishnu, Ashatkaro. Vishnu means he is in everything, right? So the Purusha Suktam says, Padosya Viswa Bhutani Tripadasyam Rudam Divi Amrutam Divi. So, Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. He pervades the universe. And not only that, it gets very precise. Purusha Suktam gets very precise in some places. It takes only 1/4 of Emperuman to pervade all of this manifest universe. Pada means a quarter. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. It takes only 1/4 of him to pervade this whole universe. And then the rest of him, the 3/4 of him, Tripadasyam Amrutam Divi. So they are in the unmanifest eternal heavens. Okay, so the rest of Emperuman is over there. Okay, and of course, so that's the glory of Emperuman. The Emperuman. This is also sung beautifully by pAsurams. So pAsurams says, for example, about the fact that Emperuman is everywhere. I didn't have the space to put this pAsuram, but I'll read that pAsuram to you and explain the meaning. It talks about how Emperuman is everything. He says, Thane Tanakku Uvaman. He's the only one equal to himself. Tannuruve Evvuruvam. All the things in this universe, he's the soul behind them. Thane Tavaguruvam. He is the prime mover behind all the devas. Thane Tavaguruvam. Tarakayum. He is all the stars. Thane Erisudarum Malvarayum Yendisayum. Andat Irusudarum Ayayirai. Thane Erisudarum. He is the fire. And he is all the Panchabhutas. Malvarayum. He is also the great big mountains. Yendisayum. The 8 directions. Andat Irusudarum. The 2 orbs of light. The sun and the moon. Ayayirai. He is the Lord behind them all. So he talks about the glory of Emperuman. So I'm talking about this such a short phrase, Antam il Sir, refers to something very, very big. You can think about it all day about the glory of Emperuman. In fact, Andar tried to capture all the glory or much of that glory in one on Tirupavai, Andri Ulagam Alandai Adipotri, referring to this Vamana Avataram here, Chandrangat Tenilangai Setrai Tiral Potri, referring to the Sri Rama Avataram. And then Kondrat Chakadam Udaitai Pugal Potri, these are all Krishna Avataram, Kandru Gunilai Irindai Kadal Potri, Kundru Kodayai Eduttai Gunam Potri, Vendru Bagagadukkum, Inkayil Vel Potri, Endrendrum Sevakame Eti Paregulvan, Indriyamundum, Irangelo Rampavai. So when you talk about the Antamil Sir Kallal Aham Kuraya Martene, you remember a lot of glory of Emperuman. And that all of that is captured in this very short phrase, Antamil Sir. Mudive illada perumai udaya Emperuman. And the perumai tavira veru ondrukkum naan aham kuraya marten. So my heart will not melt for anything except those Kalyana Gunas. Okay. Now here, the analogy that kulasEkhara AzhvAr is using, the lotus being attracted to the sun, and it will. So that analogy is also indicated in another pasuram by Sri Vaishnavite in Mudal Tiruvantadi. So there he talks about what we call dharma. Dharma is what the natural laws ordain us to do. So he talks about what the dharma is of various things on this earth. He says, Perum karungadale nokum aare. So aare, the rivers, they look only to Karungadal, the black ocean, the dark ocean. Perum means that is restless. The rivers look only to the restless dark ocean. That is their dharma. All the rivers flow into the ocean. And similarly, one pu means beautiful flower. One means beautiful, pu means flower. One pu referring to the lotus flower. Vayarum kadiravane nokum. This is exactly the analogy that kulasEkhara AzhvAr is using as well. So I just want to show that this analogy, that the lotus looks only to the sun to bloom, that is exactly what Sri Vaishnavite AzhvAr is also using when he talks about the dharma, the natural laws of all the things on this earth. So it is the dharma of the lotus flower to look up only to the sun in the sky. Similarly, Virum dharmanaye nokum. Dharman refers to the yama here. And all our lives, lives on this earth, they ultimately end with yama. They go and seek yama only. We may not like that, but that's what they seek anyway. And then one taDAyEl kelvan, beautiful lotus flower. So taDAyEl, the lady who lives on that beautiful tamarai or flower. Kelvan, avaluடைய கணவனாகிய ஸ்ரீயப்பதி or Sriman Narayanan. Avan urvanaye nokum unarve. Unarve refers to our jnanam. Our jnanam will seek only the Sriyapati. That's exactly what he's saying. So he says, Vaishnavite AzhvAr says, just as the lotus flower's dharma is to seek the kadiraman, to seek the sun and the sky, our jnanam, so our wisdom, the dharma of our knowledge, our wisdom, etc., our jnanam, that is to seek emperuman, the one taDAyEl kelvan urvanaye nokkum unarve. Okay, so that's something that we should keep in mind. Okay, now talking about this endless Kalyana Gunas, now again, it's very surprising that in Tiruvaimozhi, which is probably the most celebrated Prabandham of the Nālayira Divya Prabandham, most revered Prabandham of Nālayira Divya Prabandham, Sri Nammalvar could have talked about anything in the very first pasuram, very first line, but the thing that he talks about is Uyarvara, Uyarnalam, Udayavan, Yavan, Avan. Uyarnalam refers to the Kalyana Gunas, the very high Kalyana Gunas, the very glorious Kalyana Gunas. And he says, Uyarnalam, Udayavan, Yavan. Emperuman has those beautiful Kalyana Gunas, and they are Uyarvu Ara. இதை தவிர வேறொன்றும் உயர்வு என்பது கிடையாது. So this is the highest form of Kalyana Gunas, he says. So I'm saying that the Kalyana Gunas are referenced in multiple places in the Nālayira Divya Prabandham, and that is what this kulasEkhara AzhvAr is also referring to here. Andamil sirkallal ahumguraya martene. And here he goes on to say that tuyararu sudaradi thuldi ezhan manane, O mind, prostrate in front of that Lord and then rise figuratively, because he will cut tuyar aru, he will cut the sufferings associated with the samsara sagaram. Okay, andamil sikallal ahumguraya martene. The kind of relationship that the acharyas say that this particular analogy is referring to is the so-called Jnaya Jnatru Sambandham. Jnaya is the one known, that is Emperuman. Jnatru is the knower. So the thing we need to, this is the relation. We should try to know the Emperuman. That's exactly what this relationship is implying. Okay, let me try to chant it, and then you can say it after me. Sendarale vandu, aralai seididinam, Sengamalam andaram ser, Venkadiror Kallal Alaraval, Venkadiror Kallal Alaraval, Venduyer Vita Vidinum, Venduyer Vita Vidinum, Vitruvakkotamma, Vitruvakkotamma, Un Andamil Sir Kallal, Un Andamil Sir Kallal, Aham Gurayamatene, Aham Gurayamatene. So I'll play it twice. You can chant along with it. Sandarale Vandu Aralai Seididinum Senkamalam Antaram Ser Venkadiror Kallalaraval Venduyer Vita Vidinum Vitruvakkotamma Unnantamil Sir Kallal Aham Gurayamatene. Okay, so I'll play it one more time. Sandarale Vandu Aralai Seididinum Senkamalam Antaram Ser Venkadiror Kallalaraval Venduyer Vita Vidinum Vitruvakkotamma Unnantamil Sir Kallal Aham Gurayamatene. Okay, so that was pasuram number 6. Okay, so let me go on to pasuram number 7. So here the analogy that the AzhvAr gives is what the rain clouds are to crops. That's what Emperuman is to us. Okay, so this is very relatively simple. So he says that, for example, if the rain clouds forget the crops, that is, if it doesn't rain for a very long time, what are the crops going to do? They are still going to look to those rain clouds. Right? So they're not going to say, well, guess what? It hasn't rained in this place for a long time. Let's move to Seattle where it rains every day. Okay, so they don't say that. So the crops don't migrate looking for water. And he says, likewise, I'm fully committed to you only. So that's the message that the AzhvAr conveys in this pasuram. He says, no matter how long the clouds don't rain, the green crops will look only to the great big clouds that rise up dark. So again, so you have to slightly permute them to make a full sentence out of them. No matter how long the clouds don't rain, the green crops will look only to the great big clouds that rise up dark. Okay, and like them, that is like those crops, even if you don't remove this the sufferings that I'm destined for, the sufferings that I'm destined for because of my karma, O Lord of Tiruvittuvakodu, my mind, so this adiyan will place my mind on you only very much. Okay, so I hope you see how this permutes. This adiyan, that's me, will place my mind on you only very much. Okay, so that's what he's saying. So just like the crops, simply because it doesn't rain for a long time, they don't go anywhere else. They still look to the sky only, looking for those dark clouds to rain. That's what I will do as well. Even if you don't grace me, I will continue to look to you for your blessing. I will continue to be at your feet. I already talked about a Tirukkural which conveys the same idea before. So this Tirukkural had 2 parts to it. One, it says, actually it appears in an adhigaram or a chapter called Sengonmai, which refers to the benevolence of a monarch. And it gives an example. It says, Mannavan kol nokki varum kudi. People will always look to the scepter of the king, just like van nokki varum ulagallam, just like the whole world looks to the sky for rains. Okay, so there is an analogy here, and then there is a situation to which it is being compared. This one here, the Mannavan kol nokki varum kudi, that was already an analogy used by the kulasEkhara AzhvAr in a previous pasuram. This time, the van nokki varum ulagallam, that analogy is used in this pasuram here. Okay, so, and it also conveys the idea that, this is another idea, the refuge, I have nothing else other than you. That idea is conveyed by Thundaradi Pudiyarvar as well. Thundaradi Pudiyarvar always does things in a very emotional sort of way. He says, Karoli Vannane and Kannane Kadarihindrain. So I'm wailing, oh dark-hued one, my Krishna, oh my Krishna, I'm wailing. Kadarihindrain, he says, Arular Kalaihan Amma. Kalaihan means refuge. Oh my Lord, Amma, oh my Lord, Arangamana Hurulane, oh the one residing in Sri Rangam. Arular Kalaihan, who is there as refuge for me? Okay, so that's a similar idea that Thundaradi Pudiyarvar expresses. Okay, so let me explain the meaning of this. Yattanayum van maranda kalathum paingulgal maittelundu maamugile paarthirukkum matravai pol. Yattanayum van maranda kalathum. Van means the sky. Maranda means forget. So yattanayum, no matter how long. So no matter how long the sky forgets the paingulgal, the green crops. Yattanai kalathu avaigal marandalum. Maittelundu maamugile paarthirukkum. What will they do? They will paarthirukkum. They will look up to those mugil, those clouds only. Ma mugil, those expansive, great big clouds. What kind of clouds are they? Mait. You already know that mai refers to that kanmai, for example, the dark paste that we apply to the eyes, that women apply to the eyes. That's dark or black in color. Maittu elunda maamugile. So like that mai, the clouds that get dark and rise up to the sky, they are the ones who will deliver the rains. And to those clouds only these paingulgal, these green crops will look to. So just like them, matravai pol means just like them. May tuyar vita vidinum. If you don't remove the sufferings, Vittuva Kotamma, O Lord of Tiruvittuva Kodu, and Sittam Miga Unpale, and my Sittam means mind. Miga Unpale Vaipan. Vaipan means I will place. Adiyene, this Adiyen will place. Miga Unpale, on you only. Miga means very much, of course. So he says, this Adiyen will place my mind on you only very much. Okay, so that's the pasuram that Sri kulasEkhara Alvar has here. It's a very beautiful analogy. And okay, so let me teach you how to chant it. Just one other comment. The kind of relationship that is indicated here, Acharyas say that this captures the Shariri or Atma versus Sharira Sambandham. That is, we have a body and then we have a soul inside. Similarly, our soul, so it has a soul. That soul is Emperuman. So the Emperuman is the soul of all the Jivatmas. And we are just the Sharira. Our Jivatmas are just a Sharira to that Paramatma. So this is the Shariri, Sharira Sambandham. That the Sharira, we are the Sharira, that is the Jivatmas are the Sharira. And he, Emperuman, is the Shariri of the Atma. He is the Atma of our Atma. So that's what it means here. So the Paramatma Jivatma relationship that is captured here is the Atma versus Sharira, or Shariri versus Sharira. That's what is implied here. Okay, let me teach you how to chant it. By the way, I think I'll probably need a few extra minutes. I ask you to please forgive me for this. So let me just chant it. Ettanayum van marandagalattum, Ettanayum van marandagalattum, Paingurgal, Maittarundamamugile, Maittarundamamugile, Paarthirukkum matravai pol, Paarthirukkum matravai pol, Meithuyar vitta vidinam, Meithuyar vitta vidinam, Vitruva Kotamma, Vitruva Kotamma, Yen Sittam Migavun Pale, Yen Sittam Migavun Pale, Vaipannadiyene, Vaipannadiyene. So I'll play it twice. Let's go. Yettanayum van marandagalattum, Paingulgal, Maittarundamamugile,
பார்த்திருக்கும் மற்றவை போல் மெய்த்துயர் வீட்டாவிடினும் விற்றுவ கோட்டம்மா என் சித்தம் மிக உன்பாலே வைப்பன்னடியேனே.
Okay, let me play it back one more time.
எத்தனையும் வான் மறந்த காலத்தும் பைங்கூழ்கள் மைத்தெழுந்த மாமுகிலே பார்த்திருக்கும் மற்றவை போல் மெய்த்துயர் வீட்டாவிடினும் விற்றுவ கோட்டம்மா என் சித்தம் மிக உன்பாலே வைப்பன்னடியேனே.
Okay, just one last pasuram and then we'll be done for the day. Okay, the 8th pasuram. So the analogy that the AzhvAr uses in this particular pasuram is the ocean to the rivers, the relationship that the ocean has with the rivers. Remember that all the rivers ultimately flow into the ocean, no matter what paths they take, no matter what, how much they bend and so on, they ultimately reach the ocean. Similarly, he says that my ultimate destiny, my ultimate recourse is you. For all the jivatmas, the Paramatma is the ultimate recourse, ultimate refuge. So let's go through the meaning here. I've shown a picture of all the rivers flowing into the ocean. That's the relationship that the AzhvAr explains here. And he says here, all the rivers with abundant waters, they spread and run. But no matter where they run, what route or what paths they take, they run only to the deep ocean. And they won't go anywhere else. Okay, so they will not go anywhere else. They ultimately end up in the deep ocean. And he says, like them, oh, the dark-hued one, like the expansive cloud. So he says, oh, perumAl, oh, Emperman, who looks as dark as the expansive clouds in the sky, O Lord of Tiruvittuvakodu, you have entered my mind, and except in your auspicious qualities, I won't immerse myself, O Punya Swarupi. So he says, just as those rivers will only eventually reach the ocean, similarly, my mind will only reach up to you. It will not immerse itself in anything except your auspicious qualities. Okay, so that's the beautiful sentiment that is conveyed here. And remember, the previous pasuram that I mentioned from Mudal Tiruvantadi by Sri Vaishnavite, where he talks about the dharma of various things. So where he says that the dharma of rivers, Aru, Perum, Karungadale, Nokum, Aru. The Aru means river. Perum means restless or waves filled. Karungadal, the black ocean, the dark ocean, Nokum. Rivers will only look to the restless dark ocean. That is their dharma, and that is the analogy that kulasEkhara AzhvAr gives here as well. Okay, now this analogy is also used in the Upanishads in another place. This is a very famous one. So here it says, Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram. Akashat means from the sky, Agayathilirundu. Patitam means viruhindra, falling. Toyam means water. So the water that falls from the sky, so this is referring to the rain. Yatha gacchati sagaram. Yatha, yappadi, just as it gacchati goes to or reaches the sagaram, the ocean. So just as it goes to the ocean only, regardless of what paths it takes. That is, that rain may fall into, for example, on a mountain, eventually go through the Ganges River and finally goes into the Bay of Bengal, or it may fall into some other mountain and become the Kaveri River, but ultimately it flows into the ocean. So Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram. So that is an analogy that is given in several other places as well. But here, this analogy in this Upanishad, this analogy is used to indicate that no matter to what God you pray, all those prayers go to one Supreme Lord. Okay, so really the second part of that slokam is different, but I still want to say it. So it ends up like this: Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. Sarvadeva, all the gods, Namaskara. So the salutations that you do, the prayers that you do to all the gods, Keshavam Pratigachati, they all reach that one God that we refer to as Keshava. Okay, so that analogy, Akashat Patitam Toyam Yatha Gachati Sagaram Sarvadeva Namaskara Keshavam Pratigachati. That the analogy part of it is used in the Upanishads in other contexts as well. Okay, so let me go through the meaning of this pasuram word by word. Tokkulangu yarellam. This is really Aru. Aru means river. Aru ellam. Tokku ilangu. So all the rivers. Tokku ilangu means tirandu vilanguhindra. So all the rivers that have abundant waters. Tokku ilangu yarellam. Parandu odi. Parandu means, you know, that they spread out, and odi means they run. They spread out and run. All the rivers with abundant waters, they spread out and run. But where do they go? They go only to the deep ocean, nowhere else. Todu kadale. Todu means deep. Kadal means ocean. To the deep ocean only. Pukkandri puram nirka matta. Todu kadale pukku. They go only to the deep ocean. Andri, apart from that, puram nirka matta. They will not go to anything else. Matravai just like those rivers. Mikkilangu Mugil Nirattai. So here is calling that Lord of Tiruvittuvakodu, Vittuvakottama, O Lord of Tiruvittuvakodu, Mugil Nirattai. Mugil means clouds. Oh, the clouds like, so the clouds hued one, so one who has the colors of the clouds, specifically the dark clouds. Mikku Ilangu, so the expansive clouds. Veguvaga Tondruhindra, Karumehangalai Pondra Niramulavane, Vittuvakottama, O Lord of Vittuvakodu, Un Pukkilangu Seerallal, Pukkilankan Punyane. Oh, Punyane means referring to, oh, Punya Swarupi, Emperuman. Kan means, oh, see, Emperuman. What does he want Emperuman to see? He says, I Pukkilan, I have no other recourse, no other refuge. I will not immerse myself in anything other than yourself. So unpukku ilangu seer allal, that is, except for your auspicious qualities. Unpukku ilangu, unnidam irukkum seer, auspicious qualities are perumai allal adai thavira. So the glory or the auspicious qualities that you have, apart from those, pukku ilan, I have no other recourse, I have no other refuge. Okay, kan punyane, so I have no other refuge. Please see, oh, Emperuman. Now the relationship, among the 9 relationships that Pillalokacharya talks about, this one is called the Swami Swam Sambandham. So Swam means wealth, Swami means the owner of the wealth. So he's our owner, Paramatma is our owner, and we, the Jivatmas, are the wealth. Okay, so that is the relationship that is explained by this pasuram. Let me teach you how to chant it. Okay, and so Mikkilangu Mugilarattai is this picture here, the dark hued one. Okay, so let me chant it for you to say after me. Tokkilangu yarellam, Tokkilangu yarellam, Parandodi, Todukadale Pukkandri Puram Nirka, Todukadale Pukkandri Puram Nirka, Mattadamatravai Vohol, Mikkilangu Mugil Nirattai, Vittuvakottama, Un Pukkilangu Seerallal, Pukkilankan Punyane. By the way, this Akashat Patitam Toyam Yatha Gachati Sagaram Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigachati. That is, all the prayers that are made to all the gods, they eventually reach that one supreme God. That same message was conveyed by Swami Vivekananda in his address to the Parliament of Religions in Chicago in 1893 as well. I'll just read from it very briefly. That will only take a minute. He says, we believe, referring to the Hindus, we believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. he says, I'm proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is repeated every day by millions of human beings. As the different streams having their sources in different places, you see that's referring to this akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram, despite going through different routes. So he says, as the different streams having their sources in different places all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to thee. So it's a very beautiful speech. It's a very short speech, but at the same time, it's one of the most beautiful speeches on this earth. Okay, so I'll play this this particular chanting twice. Let's chant with it.
தொக்கிலங்கு யாரெல்லாம் பரந்தோடி தொடுகடலே புக்கின்றி புறம் நிற்க மாட்டாத மற்றவை போல் மிக்கிலங்கு முகில் நிறத்தாய் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா உன் புக்கிலங்கு சீரல்லால் புக்கிலன் காண் புண்ணியனே.
Okay, so let me reposition it.
தொக்கிலங்கு யாரெல்லாம் பரந்தோடி தொடுகடலே புக்கின்றி புறம் நிற்க மாட்டாத மற்றவை போல் மிக்கிலங்கு முகில் நிறத்தாய் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா உன் புக்கிலங்கு சீரல்லால் புக்கிலன் காண் புண்ணியனே.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful pasuram. Okay, and the analogy given there is also very beautiful. You should also understand the dharmas, the pasuram from AzhvAr about the dharma of various things on this earth. Okay, again, I apologize for taking more time than I thought, and I will finish up with the charma slokam. You can say the charma slokam with me. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha mangalam kosalendraya mahaniya gunabdhaye chakravarti tanujaya sarvabhaumaya mangalam sarvam krishnarpanamastu. So I'm going to stop the recording. Give me a minute.